Hola compañero! Now I can officially say it because I was in Spain. It was beautiful, I loved it, I'm coming back for sure. But now, let's get back to Vita Homebrew business. We've got some updates, new releases, work in progress showcases, and much more. Let's get cracking! Let's begin with the Counter-Strike 1.6 client update. This is a port of Zash 3D FWGS, that means Half-Life and some of its mods, as well as Counter-Strike. There were significant improvements because touchscreen controls have been added, finally. It makes the user experience much more pleasant. You can fine-tune aiming with the finger on the right side of the screen and also do rapid camera rotations with right stick. You can see the Reddit release post on the screen with the installation instruction, thanks to the guy that made it happen. I've installed the update, it works okay. I was even able to join some multiplayer session with some guys. I was unable to shoot though, cause I haven't remapped the buttons, and when I remapped them, I couldn't find a new game. The multiplayer is very temperamental, sometimes it works, but mostly it just kicks you straight out. It's better just to stick to the bots, however, this feature, according to my testing, haven't been implemented yet into FWGS, just into the old Vita Zash 3D version. I hope it's gonna come to FWGS too, cause it's very useful. Second, let's look at the Wipeout 2048 online multiplayer. It looks like it is back. Wipeout is a solid racing game, but the multiplayer was shut down a while ago. Luckily, modders came again for a rescue. Welcome to the official Anti-Gravity Racing Foundation website and their flagship project, Thallium Plus Beat, that allows us to play 3 Wipeout games back online in 2025 and beyond. Wipeout Pulse for PSP, Wipeout HD for PS3 and Wipeout 2048 for PS Vita. To get it working, you need to follow very simple setup instructions. Just change the primary and secondary DNS in Wi-Fi settings. Then you're gonna get automatically redirected when you connect. And you also need to be logged into your PSN account. I've tried it and it was working. At least I think it was. Wipeout 2048 online campaign is not working, but HD crossplay multiplayer is working. I was in a lobby, it didn't crash, but I couldn't find any players. I think it was mostly because almost nobody knows about it. Now you know, so please spread the word and hopefully we can raise some rounds to get online. As I said, this service is available for 3 Wipeout games, plus for MotoStorm Arctic Edge on the PSP as well. The creators also have Discord, where they are holding events regularly. You should be able to access online multiplayer PSP games on your Vita through Adrenaline 2, and it looks like emulators are also supported, PPSSPP and RPCS3. These are great news. This is the second game that have had online multiplayer revived in 2025 after Killzone Mercenary. Big up to the people who made it happen, and I'm here all for it. At number 3, we got a new tool that was just released called Simple VPK. It is a homebrew application based on a Easy VPK that allows us, Vita users, to easily download and install VPKs and data files. For homebrew ports, initial release came with 20 games. There are all the big ones included: Max Payne, GTA Trilogy, Dead Space Mobile, etc. Many people were asking for something like this for a while. There is a PKGJ for official games, but there is no alternative available like this for homebrew ports. Up until now, you had to always use your PC or phone to get the necessary files and transfer them over to your Vita for port to work properly. However, now with this application, this should be a thing of the past. I've been trying it and it kinda works, but I didn't have much luck with it. I've only tried to download one game, the smallest one, Baba Is You. It was downloaded successfully, then I waited like 4-5 minutes for it to proceed to the next step, and as soon as it did, it just crashed. I've repeated the process and once again, same thing happened. At the exact same moment after it was downloaded and it proceeded to the next step. Not sure why, I had enough empty storage, there might have been some issue with the file. It is initial release, so crashes and bugs are to be expected. I checked what the people were saying in the comment section under the Reddit release page. It has almost 1000 upvotes, people are very happy, and looks like it works. Some people have reported that for many games it downloaded files, but they were not in a correct folder. You needed to change it manually in Vita Shell after it was downloaded. Plus, somebody also mentioned that it is downloading the files zipped, and they are extracted on the Vita afterwards, and this takes a lot of time. For 90 megabytes of zip files it took like 4-5 minutes, can't imagine how long it would take for 1.5 gigabytes. But that's just limitation of the Vita hardware, not of the application itself. In spite of this, I'm very pleased we've got very first attempt in implementing something like this. This effort is greatly appreciated, and I'm sure a lot of people without PC or phone are gonna be utilizing this method. If you have a phone or PC, I would recommend you using that one instead, as it is just way faster to download and extract the files. Great work, brother, nonetheless. Now let's check this 12TB hard drive from Peaprit company. It comes with 6 systems in one and with 12 terabytes filled up with games. But not just some AAA games like in the previous one I've checked. I didn't really like that one. This one on the other hand comes actually with a great selection of PS3 games, PS2, Xbox, Xbox 360, Wii, Wii U, Switch, Dreamcast, PSP and all of the older systems. I was very pleasantly surprised to see they've put all of this together. Yes, there are even some new AAA games installed too, but not too many. Here, honestly, just look at the PS3 section. I'm scrolling through it right now and I was shocked to see all of these games included. I mean, yeah, clearly you can get all of these for free from some websites, but most of the sites are often shady and the download speeds are limited and the sizes of games are quite large. Also look at the Xbox 360 section or Wii or Wii U. It's really humongous. Clearly for most of these games you need a proper PC with a dedicated graphics card to emulate them at full speed. Hell, there are even some PS Vita games and PS Vita emulator. It was working even on my mini PC at full speed. I've tried Killzone 2 for PS3, but it was just too much to handle for my mini PC. All the closer details about setup instructions, recommended specs, and complete list of games included are down in the description below. They're selling it right now for £176 on AliExpress. For 12TB hard drive filled with games, this is a great price. So that means there's gotta be some catch, right? Yeah, you're right, here is your catch. I've used this application called Crystal Disk Info to see power on count and power on hours. This is my mini PC, 24 times switched off and it was powered on for 40 hours altogether, so pretty much brand new. This is the 12TB hard drive, 29 times switched off and almost 39,000 power on hours, which is almost 4.5 years. Generally, hard drives can be turned on for about 3 to 5 years before experiencing a failure, so this is right about in that limit. I'm pretty sure they are just taking old hard drives from some data centers and they have reused them for this retro gaming purpose. I've checked the other 12TB hard drive that I have and same thing here. 26,000 power on hours, which is almost 3 years. Would I recommend you buying this product? I'm not expert, but these numbers are just too high in my opinion. These hard drives are clearly not new and there is no guarantee how long they're gonna last. And I wouldn't be personally buying a hard drive that's nearly at the end of its lifespan. Game selection is awesome, I can give them that, but these high power on hours are just too high. I'm sure nobody would want to emulate a game and then experience a hard drive failure in the middle of it. So let's rather get back into New Vita Homebrew. Legends of Lumina. It is a block pushing puzzle game with Metroidvania style progression, set in a peaceful environment. You push in blocks to solve puzzles and to proceed further into the game. Not exactly my cup of tea, but this Vita port runs relatively okay. There is a slight delay when you move from one screen to the other, and FPS drops on some levels. To install it, you need to follow setup instruction and patch the game, or I'm sure there is always some pre-made VPK floating around. Crazy Cattle Vita, port of Unity demake of Crazy Cattle 3D. You control explosive sheep in a chaotic survival challenge across 3 distinct global environments. This one didn't really speak to me, so I've quickly moved into Pinkman Files, experimental port of Vampire visual novel based on the Breaking Bad with Walter White and Jesse Pinkman as main protagonists. If you are into visual novels, and Breaking Bad might be worth checking out. It's for free, install it simply in Vita Shell in the form of VPK or download from Homebrew browser. There was also an update for Cartoon Combat Flying Circus, original homebrew game in a dogfight style that is in development by Mr. Kane. Bunch of new things have been added. You can see the full changelog on the screen right now. It is coming along very nicely. I'm glad it is still receiving regular updates, cause clearly the developer is working on it in his free time, like every other Vita developer. Big respect to all of you guys. Without you, these videos just wouldn't exist, I'm sure you know that. And these videos wouldn't also exist without my dear Patreons and channel members. All of you deserve a big shout out. I truly appreciate all of your support, I just want you to know that. Next we have a Mortal Kombat HD demo. The graphics are impressive, but it is a demo, and as of right now there is not much to do besides choosing Sub-Zero or Scorpion and fighting. You cannot choose anything else, levels or any other players, and there is also no AI to fight against, so you can just kick the guy's ass that stands motionless. Second player input might be working on Vita TV. Developer will make future improvements when possible. Yeah, that would be very nice. And you know what's even nicer right now? Brand new port of Perfect Dark. Renegatamente is working on it. He already made a pre-release for us to see how the things are going. And how are they going? They are going pretty satisfying. This port is based on a Perfect Dark source port by FWGS FDS that is based on the decompilation efforts. To run the port you need ROM that you're gonna place into the correct folder, and you also need Shader Compiler plugin. If you have VitaDB application installed, you already have it. Now to the game. It is running in widescreen mode, in native Vita resolution. Overclock is recommended for the best experience. The port ships with an optimized config file with the preset controls that feels very usable. Same like on the original hardware, the port features a lot of frame drops, and it also features auto frame skip option that should allow audio to function properly despite frame drops. Port also features silent mode with enhanced performance and disabled audio. I've tried it and yes indeed FPS was higher, but without the audio it just didn't feel complete for me. It also features shader catch implementation. Every time a shader is compiled for the first time you will feel a small stutter, but any subsequent use of the same shader will then be stutterless. This carries on over successive boots of the port. That means first run is gonna be always a bit more stuttery, but every other run is gonna be much more pleasant. Right now we are on the version 0.5.1. As I said, it is still work in progress, but the things are already looking very promising. Yes, it's a bit stuttery here and there, but if you are a fan of the original game, you should try it out. Or you can also wait for an upcoming update that is going to bring some improvements, I'm sure about that. Last but not least, we got a showcase of a work in progress port of Resolutiion with double I. It is a Zelda-like action-adventure game. This is a port of the game's demo, but at least 5 levels are fully playable. It is actually done by the same guy that has done the Legend of Lumina port. There are some issues, as per usual, it is work in progress. You can see all of them on the screen. According to my testing, yeah, there are some frame drops, but overall I was impressed by this port. It is in Godot engine, It was released in 2020 originally, so it is fairly recent. It is quite hard, so I didn't even get past the first boss. In spite of that, it left on me positive first impression. Thumbs up for that. Keep up the great work. If this video left positive impression on you, show it some love. Comment, like, join, share. Thanks to you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Keď som s tebou, svet je perfektný, nikdy lepší nebol, prosím uver mi, že vždy býva krátky, si nie je tma, končia všetky hádky, život zmysel má. Keď si pre ťa čakám, mám od teba strach, mením sa na žiaka, ležím pod